We're going to get it. Okay. Hi, I'm Patrick Young. I'm a Microsoft Teams Room specialist and I work for Exertis here in the UK. And today I'd like to talk to you about 5 basic subjects that I like to discuss with clients when I'm talking about Teams Rooms to them for the very first time. So quite often people have preconceived ideas, having used a legacy system or something like that, and perhaps have a tendency to want to talk about the more complex aspects. So I find it very useful to just bring them back, cover some of the basics first, and that makes it easier when you're going forward. So I'll show you what those subjects are. I won't keep you in suspense in case you don't want to be here to the end of the video. But those things are one-touch join, full calendar integration, common user experience, hybrid collaboration and meeting equity, that's quite a mouthful, and flexibility. So let's start with the one-touch join. In my experience, this is what most people are looking for. They don't want to be messing around at the beginning of a meeting, plugging in devices or looking for codes to plug in. They just want to press one button and have the meeting start. And that's one of the key things that a Microsoft Teams Room delivers out of the box, is the one-touch join. The second thing is full calendar integration. Now, in the past, with some legacy video systems, this was quite challenging, quite costly, especially in a complex network environment. However, because Teams is simply part of the Microsoft Office 365 suite, it's already fully and seamlessly integrated into your calendaring system if you're using Outlook. And the Teams calendar, after all, they're actually the same calendar, they're reading from the same data behind the scenes. So essentially, you can invite the room using your Outlook or your Teams calendar. And when you get to the room, you just press join. So full integration with your calendar out of the box. The next thing is a common user experience. Now, this is a little bit more difficult to explain, but if you can imagine, not everybody perhaps is as tech savvy as we are. If you're watching this video, there's a strong chance you're in the tech industry, but not everybody is like that. So if you or your company or your customers are investing a lot of money in systems, they need to ensure that those systems are easy to adopt. And the way to do that is to make sure that they're A, easy to use, and B, the same in every room. So the Microsoft Teams Room interface is identical across all Teams rooms, regardless of what vendor makes the hardware. Now, there are some very small differences between the Android-based systems and the Windows-based systems, which I can cover in another video. But essentially, from a user's point of view, starting that meeting, joining that meeting, it's the same wherever you go, whether you're in a huddle space, a boardroom, or an auditorium, it's the same. So a common user experience. The next one is hybrid collaboration, and what the heck is meeting equity? Well, this confused me for a while until I did a little bit of research, and of course I realized that the word equity in the United States actually means equality. And once you understand that, it starts to make a little bit more sense. So what we're looking for is meeting equality. And in a hybrid working environment, a lot of buzzwords here, but in a hybrid working environment, this is really important. You've got people in the office, and you've got people still at home, maybe splitting their time between work and the office, say work at home and work in the office. But you need your staff to be able to seamlessly collaborate and work together. And we've got used to some really great features in the desktop app, things like chat, being able to upload documents, work on them together, show your appreciation for somebody with a reaction, but these features weren't really available in the room until very recently. So Microsoft has worked really hard to bring some of those experiences into the room. So you can see from this image on the right hand side, chat is now in the meeting room. On the left hand side, there's an area where people can, if you raise your hands, it will list who's raised their hand and in what order, which is really, really useful when you're in the room. All of these things you couldn't see before. So we're leveling up both the meeting room and the home experience so that you can have an equal experience. You'll also notice there's a mobile phone in this image, and that's because you can now use your mobile phone to contribute to the meeting when you're in the room. And this was something that was difficult to do before, because perhaps you'd need to walk up to where the console is in the middle of the table or the front of the room, wherever it is, if you wanted to make some sort of reaction or contribution to the meeting. And that's not really practical. However, if you've got the Teams app on your phone, you can join in companion mode. And you can use all of those great features with chat and reactions. You can even control the room from your phone. But I said I was going to talk about the basics, so we won't go into detail on that. That layout, by the way, is called Front Row. And once again, I'll probably cover that in more detail in another video. And the final thing is flexibility. So not many people, in fact, I don't think anybody really wants to wall themselves off into a private cloud communication. There may be some specific vertical markets where that's really important, but generally people want to be flexible. They want to be able to talk to people even if they're on other platforms. Now, there are some other very well-known platforms out there, WebEx from Cisco and Zoom being two of the biggest, but also GoToMeeting and BlueJeans, and there are others as well. So Microsoft has formed a partnership with these companies, and today, you can join a Zoom call or a WebEx call from your Teams room. And in the future, you'll also be able to do that with a GoToMeeting user and a BlueJeans. I can't say that, BlueJeans user. So that's going to be really great. So it works really great. There are some limitations if you're joining as a guest, because you're actually joining another cloud to have that meeting. But it works really, really great for simple video conferencing and collaboration. So those are my 5 key topics that I like to cover off before we get into more detail. That's one-touch join, full calendar integration, a common user experience, hybrid collaboration, and meeting equity and flexibility. So thank you very much. I hope it's been really useful, and I'll see you in the next one.